It's clear, but he still has to prove he knows what matters to the British people. And today, I believe he made a massive miscalculation. He couldn't be more wrong. The public does care, and with good reason. Here's a reminder of what Elon Musk says about woke. After 13 years of Tory rule with 3 prime ministers in one chaotic year recently, his path to power.
Keir Starmer walks into a bar. The bartender says, "Why the long face?" Starmer replies, "I can't tell you. I'm saving that for my memoirs." Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Jokes aside, Starmer's reluctance to open up is becoming a serious issue. Today, we're going to break down why his silence speaks volumes and what it means for the future of British politics. Piers Morgan's relentless pursuit of an interview with Keir Starmer has become a spectacle in British media.
He's reportedly briefed his top team to avoid talking about social issues, woke issues, because apparently the public doesn't care about them. Good evening from London, welcome to Piers Morgan Uncensored. Sir Keir Starmer may well be the next British Prime Minister. Labour leader's a hearty lead in the polls. He couldn't be more wrong. The public does care, and with good reason. Here's a reminder of what Elon Musk says about woke.
The Labour leader's repeated refusals to appear on Morgan's show have raised eyebrows and fueled speculation. Morgan, known for his confrontational interview style, has been vocal about Starmer's avoidance. He publicly questioned, "What are they scared of?" A Labour Party is based 2.8 miles away from his studio, but so far they've repeatedly rejected all invitations. This standoff between Starmer and Morgan goes beyond a simple scheduling conflict. It touches on fundamental issues of accountability and transparency in politics. Starmer's reluctance to face tough questions from Morgan has led many to wonder, what exactly is he trying to hide? The public reaction to Starmer's avoidance has been largely critical. Many interpret it as a sign of weakness or a lack of confidence in his policies. This perception is particularly damaging for Starmer, who has positioned himself as a strong, competent leader ready to take on the challenges facing the UK. The contrast between his public image and his apparent reluctance to face Morgan's questioning is stark and troubling for many voters. Morgan's accusation that Starmer is enabling a disturbing trend of silencing voices instead of listening to them has gained traction. This criticism aligns with concerns raised by others, including Elon Musk, regarding Starmer's policies on social media regulation. The implications for free speech under a potential Labour government are becoming a significant point of debate. The impact of this ongoing avoidance on Starmer's approval ratings cannot be overstated. Polls indicate that voters are increasingly skeptical of his ability to handle pressure. In a political landscape where trust is paramount, Starmer's refusal to engage with Morgan is eroding public confidence in his leadership. As we delve deeper into Starmer's policy positions and actions, a pattern of inconsistency begins to emerge. The Starmer-Morgan standoff is just the tip of the iceberg. It raises crucial questions about Starmer's approach to leadership and his readiness to face the challenges of governing. What other contradictions might we uncover as we examine his stance on key issues like immigration and housing? The answers may well determine the future of Labour and, potentially, the direction of British politics.
It is a prevalent mind virus and arguably one of the biggest threats to modern civilization.
It's clear, but he still has to prove he knows what matters to the British people. And today, I believe he made a massive miscalculation. After 13 years of Tory rule with 3 prime ministers in one chaotic year recently, his path to power.
Keir Starmer's words paint one picture, but his actions tell a different story. While he talks tough on immigration, the reality on the ground is starkly different. What's really going on behind the scenes of Labour's immigration policy? The answer might shock even Starmer's staunchest supporters. Starmer has publicly declared his commitment to tightening immigration controls, even going so far as to promise a cap on migration. He's criticised previous governments for their handling of asylum seekers, positioning himself as the man who will finally get a grip on the situation. But here's where things get interesting. Despite all this tough talk, illegal crossings into the UK continue to rise. This glaring disconnect between Starmer's rhetoric and reality has not gone unnoticed. Critics are quick to label his policies as all talk, no action. It's a damning assessment that strikes at the heart of Starmer's credibility. After all, what good are promises if they don't translate into tangible results? The inconsistencies don't stop there. Labour's actual policies on immigration seem to be at odds with Starmer's public statements. This has led to accusations that the party is failing to deliver on key issues. It's a dangerous game Starmer is playing, one that risks alienating both those who want stricter immigration controls and those who advocate for a more lenient approach. Within the Labour Party itself, tensions are rising. Some members are expressing concern over what they perceive as a leniency towards migrants, while citizens in need are overlooked. This internal conflict further muddies the waters of Labour's immigration stance and raises questions about Starmer's ability to unite his party behind a coherent policy. As we dig deeper into Starmer's policy positions, a troubling pattern of inconsistency begins to emerge. The immigration issue is just one piece of a larger puzzle. How many other areas of policy are marked by this same disconnect between words and actions? The answer to this question could have far-reaching consequences for Starmer's leadership and the future of the Labour Party. The implications of these policy paradoxes extend beyond just immigration. They touch on fundamental issues of trust, competence, and political integrity. As voters grapple with these contradictions, Starmer's leadership is increasingly coming under scrutiny. The question now is, can he reconcile these inconsistencies, or will they ultimately unravel his political ambitions? As we've seen, Keir Starmer's leadership is plagued by a series of evasions and contradictions. His refusal to engage with Piers, coupled with the glaring inconsistencies in his immigration stance, paint a troubling picture. These issues aren't just minor hiccups, they're symptoms of a deeper problem within Labour's leadership. The question now is, can Starmer overcome these challenges, or will they be his undoing? History suggests that leaders who struggle with transparency often face an uphill battle at the polls. Ed Miliband and Jeremy Corbyn both learned this lesson the hard way. In today's political landscape, voters crave authenticity and straight talk. Starmer's apparent reluctance to provide either could prove costly. As we look to the future of British politics, one thing is clear. The path to power is paved with transparency, not evasion.